Hi, my name is Emma and welcome to my channel. I really appreciate you guys watching. This is my first video, so I'm really excited to get back to reviewing things that I love. I'm going to be reviewing books, TV shows, films, just all things that are my favorite and things that I love. So welcome, and today I'm going to be reviewing The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Now, this book is really interesting. I was really excited to read it. It is the prequel to the Hunger Games series. I thought that it was going to be, I had high expectations for this book. I thought that it was going to be amazing and like the Hunger Games. I really love those books and the films. But it just wasn't quite exactly at the standard I thought it should be. I thought it was going to be a lot better, but I did really like it overall. Overall, I thought it was still a good book. Good story, but yeah, we'll get to that. So let's go to the timeline of when this is set. This book is set in the 10th annual Hunger Games. Now, this book is the perspective of the mentor in the games as opposed to the tributes. So it was a really interesting perspective to have Coriolanus Snow's perspective and him be the main character. I didn't know what to think of that at first because you know where he ends up. You know that he's evil, that he's not a good person. So I thought it was interesting when I started reading the book. I didn't actually know that it was about him, but I just recognized the name and I thought, Snow, I had to research, is this him? And I realized it was actually about him. Some other characters in the book are Lucy Gray, who he ends up having a close relationship with. Now, just on that, with him and Lucy Gray, I thought it was a bit strange how obsessed he was with her at first. I feel like he was really into her, really in love with her, just super quickly. And I was kind of drawn in by that. I was sort of interested in what's going to happen with them two. Is she going to love him back? Is she going to be interested in him? And I really liked how she was, how I like the romance between them at the start. I feel like with this book, my favorite part was probably the first half or third of the book that where I was quite hooked. Probably before when Lucy got out of the games. So when she got out of the games, I was probably not as, it sort of just slowed down for me, I think. I like the pace of the start of the book. So back to Lucy Gray. I feel like she's a really interesting character. She's strong and powerful and interesting, I guess inspiring as a woman, a character like that who's sort of, yeah, I just get the vibe that she was quite strong, and that I liked her wittiness. I feel like she was quite witty and quite quick and smart. She's also a musician and a singer, and I really liked how they related every part of the title of the book. So the ballad, relates to all her ballads and all her songs she would sing. Songbirds relating to the mockingjays and the jabberjays, I think, were in there, as well as snakes. So crazy how they have mutated animals and species in this series, which is a theme throughout all the Hunger Games, because I'm pretty sure there were jabberjays in all throughout the Hunger Games as well, which are a mutation of the mockingjay. But yeah, those two characters are the most important characters. There are a few other characters who are friends, like Sejanus. There were also Dr. Gole, is that how you say it? She was actually the game maker from the start. She seems like a very evil kind of character. What I really liked about these Hunger Games though, well, I just noticed it was very different to the other ones, were that in the past it was more, you see the poverty and how with the games they weren't fed, they had to fight for their food, they had to earn their food, they had to get sponsorship to actually eat. So a lot of the tributes didn't even make it to the games. Now that was really interesting. I thought that was a little bit weird, but hey, it worked, I guess. Yeah, I noticed that a lot. I remember in the Hunger Games, in the first book and second, that they were treated more if you're a tribute, you were fed well, and they had all these lavish things from the capital, lavish food, I should say, and yeah, this time they didn't, and you see a lot of the tributes having to fight for their food or even kill for their food. So with the relationship of Coriolanus and Lucy Gray, it's sort of revealed by the time she goes into the games that she has feelings for Snow as well. And while I sort of was like into them at that point. But then towards the end, as you know, if you've read it, it like, I don't even know what happened at the end. If someone could please tell me, because I was reading it and I felt like at the end, I don't know about you, but sometimes with books you read it and you're like, wait, what? And you have to go back and read the pages. I felt a bit like that. Like I didn't know exactly what was happening at the end. Like what happened to Lucy Gray? Did she survive? Did she ran away? Like I believe that she ran away somewhere. But yeah, so he went from being in love with her to and obsessed with her to like all of a sudden he was going to go kill her and she was running away from him. So it was very weird, but I must admit she was very emotional with her men. So oftentimes you see her singing about men or singing about love a lot. So she was very heartbroken. I also thought this book was going to be a 3-part series. I did not know it was going to be a standalone prequel. So I would have liked to see more development with Snow and how he ends up after Lucy Gray, and more about Lucy Gray maybe. Like, was she related to Katniss? Is there a connection with Katniss? Because there's a mention of Katniss towards the end of the book. I remember her name was in there. I think it was a flower or a plant. So that was kind of cool. I feel like there's a lot of things that do correlate with the whole series. The fact of the songs too, because there is a lot of singing in the Hunger Games. Not a lot like how Lucy Gray sings, but there is a few songs like that Meadow song that Katniss would sing with Rue in the first book. So there is going to be a film and I am looking forward to seeing it. I would have high expectations. I feel like it could even be better than the book. But yeah, it's definitely not going to be as good as the Hunger Games, in my opinion. I think it was just a little bit rushed at the end. The relationship between Snow and Lucy Gray was a little bit confusing towards the end too. You did sort of see some of the evil side of him coming out towards the end, and how his rise in the capital would come about because, you know, it's funny actually because you see him in the middle of the book, how he goes into the games to try and rescue his friend who's mentally unstable, goes in the games, tries to be a martyr, he knows he's going to die, so Snow goes in and actually has to pull him out and save him. He almost dies. So I felt like from that way, I was like, I knew he wasn't going to die because you know where he ends up. But I feel like at that point he was different. He was more genuine, I guess, and more like a normal person. But then at the end, it's like he started to get more, I don't know, more on the capital side. Like I felt like he was more on the district side and more like had a heart for Lucy Gray. And then towards the end, I got the vibe that it was more like, no, I belong in the capital. And also what I loved is that he went back to District 12, or he was going to be part of District 12, which I find that interesting because of the whole story with Katniss later. So for me, and I'll keep talking about the Hunger Games, but I just feel like this book was just like, it connected really well with the Hunger Games in my opinion. And I would have liked to seen more of what happened to Snow to make him become President Snow, how we see him later. I guess you could create in your mind of what happened between him and Lucy Gray, or, you know, if he still thinks of her. Does he see Lucy Gray in Katniss in the future? So this is a bit of a messy review. I apologize. I'm sort of all over the place, but I'm just trying to get my perspective of the book. Generally, I did like it. It was a little bit of a letdown, but I still think overall it was a great book. I've seen other opinions out there. People love it. Some people don't like it. Generally, I'm seeing a lot of like people not so sure about it, which is interesting. So it seems to be the general opinion. But everyone has their own opinions. But maybe you liked it. Maybe you liked it more than I did. Maybe you hated it. Let me know in the comments what you thought. Also, who would you like to see play Lucy Gray in the movie or Snow in the movie? Because that's happening. It's official. I'm not sure when though because of COVID. Maybe it's going to be delayed, I'm not sure, but I do know a movie is in the works. But yeah, let me know what you thought of the book and if you're looking forward to the film, because I know I am excited to see it. But yeah, thank you so much for watching and I really hope you like this review. Stay tuned for more. Thanks guys.